It's not always the fragrance. Sometimes it's the man in front of the atomizer, the confident man, turning a simple thing into a signature. Stick around and see if you can pull off Lattafa's Shiekh Shuyukh Final Edition. Hello, my beautiful fragrance family. Dustin here, fragrance fan. Go ahead and do me a solid and click that like, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to hit that bell notification, and I'm just going to keep on bringing you guys these budget-friendly fragrance reviews. That 40-ish and under dollar range, and most of these are way less than that, and a good number of these you can find at your local rack stores. This one here is under $20 at the recording of this of December 2024. It's like 17 bucks on Amazon, and I'm talking about Lattafa's Shiekh Shuyukh Final Edition. So stick around, and we're going to dive deep into this fragrance. So something a little bit interesting about this is you'll see sources say that it was released in 2022, whereas other people claim that they bought it in 2020 or have 2019 batches. So, you know, when was it released? Who knows? Really, who cares? It's about how the thing smells. So it's an EDP concentration, as you could expect from most of these Middle Eastern houses. And it is trying to be at least inspired by, if not clone, YSL's EDP. So I'm going to go ahead and review this one as a standalone fragrance and then tell you what I think is the difference between this and the original. So this one in the opening is going to be a good dose of some fresh, spicy, aromatic sage, lemon, and lemongrass. Very lemon forward opening. Some green rosemary and sweet florals are in the heart body of this thing. It's got some warm cedar wood just in the bottom, not like a loud amount of wood or anything like that, but there's enough warm cedar wood for all that stuff to land on, and there's a warm spiciness in here. It almost gives it a distant cinnamon feel. There's no cinnamon here. There's cardamom, there's leather, but there's no actual cinnamon. But I think that the cardamom, leather, amber combination, for whatever reason, I kind of think between those resins and stuff, it's giving it a cinnamon, warm, spicy feel. Meanwhile, this is mostly a spring, green, fresh, vibrant fragrance. It has some sweetness and it has some richness, but mostly it's got that freshness, the lemony, the brightness, and the fresh spiciness going on with little bits of woods and some florals. So the difference between this and YSL EDP is YSL has a sweet tart green apple. That's replaced in this. The tartness with the lemon and the lemongrass taking most of that. I think, I could be wrong. There's like bergamot, I think, in YSL. I'll put the notes right here. This one in the opening, if memory serves me correctly, what they claim is lemon, lemongrass, sage, and lavender. In the heart of this thing, it's like mimosa, cardamom, leather, and there's something else. And in the base, this just going off memory, is amber, cedarwood, moss. There's something else somewhere, but that's the difference between the two as far as the Fragrantica profile of these things. Scent-wise, it just doesn't have that tart green apple. It's being replaced with that lemongrass. This is more of a spicy green forward fragrance than I think YSL EDP. I think YSL has more of an ambroxan blue, kind of like a little bit like of hints of like aquaticness and stuff. This doesn't really have that. It has the same amount of freshness, but again, it's more of a fresh, spicy, green, grassy, lemony thing versus what YSL EDP is. Maison Alhambra, yeah, and Fakar, I think, just me personally, might be a little closer to actual YSL than this one, but that's just me. I don't own YSL. I don't have it. I'm very familiar with it, but I've never given it a full wearing experience, so you can take what I say with a grain of salt. But from what I remember, and I'm typically pretty decent at this is just a greener, grassier, lemony take on it. It does get you in the ballpark, 80 to 85% similar. You will be reminded of YSL EDP, there's no doubt about it. It's just not exactly the same, in my opinion. So, Best times to wear this thing are going to be, I say, the spring and the summer because it's a fresh fragrance. The performance on this is actually way better than I thought it was going to be. So the performance on this thing really did impress me for what it is. For being a fresh fragrance, getting 6+ hours is quite impressive, especially for the fact that I just got this thing and I haven't let it mature. Looks like this is a February of 2024. I don't know if that's what that means, but it looks like it's 2024 and expires in 2029. That's just what the little numbers on this thing look like they are trying to say right there. And I forgot to mention this at the beginning for whatever reason, but the box is like kind of confusing. This slides off. It's kind of annoying, to be honest with you, because I was having a hard time and I didn't want to break it, but literally, like, you see I'm like working this thing off there. If you guys know of an easier way to get this thing out of here, like, that's what it does. And then you open the box, just so you know, because the thing was driving me nuts when I first got it and I didn't want to rip the box all up. So performance, really good for what it is. Fresh, green, summer, springtime fragrance. A little bit more youthful than it is mature, 100%. Just like YSL EDP, it's a crowd pleasing, mass pleasing, compliment getting, office friendly, daytime, leisure, casual kind of a fragrance. That's what this thing is. You can dress it up, sure, but it just doesn't fit that bill, you know. It's like Acqua di Gio. It's a great smelling fragrance in my opinion, especially the original. But it just doesn't really work that well in a suit and tie, I don't think, you know. Just like this one. Great smelling fragrance. Doesn't work good in a suit and tie. That's just me. That's just my opinion. Overall rating, what am I going to give this fragrance right here? I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. I put this in the gem category. I think in a couple months it's going to go to a 7.5 because if it just had a little bit more performance, like if the projection was a little louder, or if I got 6.5+ hours rather than like 6+, I would put this in the gem category. So 7 out of 10 for an under $20 rated. Goodness, 7 out of 10 for an under $20 fragrance. I think this thing is a steal for what it is. But you gotta like that YSLY EDP vibe, because you're getting a lot of that in here. Just a little bit more lemon forward, fresh green spiciness, grassy too. That's the main difference in my opinion. So that's my final thoughts on Lattafa's Shiekh Al Shuyukh Final Edition. With that, I'm out. Y'all be blessed. Take care of yourself always, and until next time.